Good morning to all. We are discussing the memory management technique, and the very important technique in the memory management, that is nothing but the paging that we are discussing, right? So in case of paging, we have already discussed that. See here, the main memory, it is divided into the number of fixed size frames, and the logical memory or the memory addresses which are generated by the CPU, it is divided into number of pages, and the page size must be equal to the frame size. The next point is that if we want to execute a process, its pages must be loaded into corresponding frame. Right, say for example, a process P1 is there, and so logical address of that particular process P1, it is divided into the fixed size of pages. Say for example, P1 process require page number 0, page number 1, page number 2, page number 3. These are the 4 pages required. To execute these 4 pages, or to execute the process P1, it's all 4 pages 0 to 3 must be loaded inside the frame. And this frame number we can get from your page table. So page table gives us the corresponding page number and its corresponding frame number. All right. So page table gives us. So with the help of this page table, we are mapping the logical address into actual or logical address or the virtual address into actual physical address. That also we have seen here. For example, if this particular process is there, so this is process P1. So all the pages 0, 1, 2, 3, they are loaded inside the corresponding frames with the help of this page table. It gives you the frame number of that each and every page, frame number of each and every page. Now, if we go further details or if we go in further deep, so we can find that say each page consists of 4 logical addresses. Each page consists of 4 logical addresses, right? For example, this is the page number 0. Page number 0 has 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 logical addresses in page number 0. In page number 1, so we can find that page number 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 4 logical addresses in page number 1. So like this way, the logical addresses are belonging to each and every page. So when we say that the page is loaded inside the frame, so when we said that if the page is loaded inside the frame, so meaning is that this particular logical address is get automatically bind with some physical address here. The logical address, that particular logical address must get bind into some physical address by transferring that particular page into the corresponding frame depending upon the value given in the page table, right? The next point is here. So operating system maintains the list of free frame. It maintains the free frame list. So before allocation of the process, into the main memory. So you will find here. So initially there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames are currently free. And if we load this particular process, which require 4 pages, 0, 1, 2, 3. So depending upon this page table, these one can say these pages are get loaded inside the frame. So only one frame remains free here. Only one frame remains free in this case, right? The next point we have discussed is nothing but the structure of page table. So page table, it is also maintained inside the main memory. Page table is kept inside the main memory, and one pointer is pointing to that particular page table, and that is called as the page table base register. That is nothing but PTBR, page table base register, point to that particular page table. So if we want to find out a particular value from the main memory, so first we have to look it inside the page table where that frame is located. Getting my point or not? So if I want to find out suppose variable I from the main memory, so to find out this variable I have to first locate where its corresponding frame. So I have to first go for the page table. So from that page table, I come to know that yes, this is the page table. Now this is the page number, and this is its corresponding frame number. Then again, I have to go to that corresponding frame number. So how many times memory access is done here? The 2 times memory is getting access here. So memory access time is slowed down by the factor of 2. Right. So memory access time is slowed down by the factor of 2. Hence, and if this is a single case, if this variable is required frequently, for example, the processor required that variable I, value of that variable I frequently, then what happens? Automatically the processing speed comes down because unnecessarily the CPU or the operating system look that particular value in 2 times memory access it has to do, and it has to find out every time from the main memory. So to avoid this particular thing, so avoid this particular slowdown of the memory access, so what solution it is proposed that we have to maintain the cache memory or the fast memory or the lookup buffer, they are called as a translation look aside buffer. So in that particular look aside buffer, the things or the information or the data which required frequently by your processor, it is kept there, right? So meaning is that it is nothing but the snapshot of your page table. It is nothing but the snapshot of the page table or your main memory. The values which are required by the processor, they are kept in that particular page table. And it so when reference is encountered, or when the reference is encountered that particular value, it is searched inside the page, inside that particular translation look aside buffer. And if that particular value is found, and immediately the corresponding frame is located here. Immediately the corresponding frame is located. But if it is a value is not found, if the value is not found, then definitely you have to go to the that particular page table. Again, you have to find it from the page table corresponding frame number and copy that value inside this translation look aside buffer, so that if the next time it requires, immediately it can be searched within that particular translation look aside buffer. These are the fast buffer, or we can say it is nothing but the cache memory, or it is nothing but the set of associative registers are maintained. So processor is having its two type of cache, L1 cache and L2 cache. L1 cache is nothing but which is within that particular processor. You take any processor, your Core i5 processor or Core i7 processor, that processor is having its own cache memory, and that is called a level 1 cache. And level 2 cache is between main memory to the processor. It is between main memory to the processor. That is called a level 2 cache memory. So the purpose of this cache memory is to increase the speed of the processing, as well as to reduce the memory access time. That is nothing but the main objective or the aim of that particular cache memory. The next concept is nothing but your protection. That is valid and invalid bit is said here. So in the page table, along with the page number and the frame number, right? This is nothing but your page number, and this is nothing but your frame number, F, P, and F. Along with this thing, V and I, that is nothing but valid and invalid bits are marked here. So what is the significance of valid and invalid bit? So the importance is that when the page is belonging to the logical address space, see carefully, yeah, because this thing we require in the next topic also. If that particular page is belonging to the logical address space, or it is in the logical address space, means it is a legal page, means it is illegal. So remember this point, it is nothing but you can refer it as a legal page. Legal page means what? That particular page is the part of the logical address space of the memory, then this page is marked as a valid page. But if suppose the page is not the part of the logical address space, then it is called as the illegal page. That is called as a illegal page, and that is marked as a invalid page. For example, the page number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the 5 pages, and these are the valid pages for the process P1. These are the valid pages for the process P1. But if suppose process P1, or if operating system tries to have the page number 5, so that page number 5 is marked as a invalid. Or page number 6 for process P1, if they are trying to access, OS is trying to access page number 6, it is marked as a invalid, because page number 6 is not the part of the logical address space of that particular process. Getting this point? So remember, this concept is very important. What is the significance of valid and invalid bit? If the page is the part of logical address space, then we can call it as a valid page. If it is not the part of logical address space, you can mark as an invalid page, right? Okay, so next point. Now it is nothing but the segmentation. So paging, we have discussed so far. In case of paging, the main memory divided into the number of frames, and the logical address divided into the number of pages, right? So and you are loading that pages into the frame, and all the pages need to be loaded inside the frame, so that the process is completely loaded inside the main memory, and the process starts its execution. Now what happens if we go for this next memory management technique, and that is called as the segmentation. We'll see in detail what exactly is the segmentation. So you can see here from the figure, so user's view of the memory, it is mapped onto the physical memory. So what is user's view of the memory? That is nothing but user prefers to view the memory as a collection of variable size segments with no necessary ordering among the segment. When we writing a program, we think it as a main program with subroutine, procedures, functions. There may also various data structures like tables, arrays, stacks, variables, etc., etc. We refer these modules as symbol table functions. Square root is the one function. For example, the main program without containing what addresses in the memory these elements occupy. So elements within a segment are identified by their offset from the beginning of the segment. So each of this segment is of variable size or variable length, and the segmentation is memory management scheme that support this user view of memory. So in a very simple way, segmentation we can define is like that. So if we assume that if we have written a main program, right? If we have written a main program in C, so that particular program may have certain subroutine. It contains some function. Square root is a one function. It has some different subroutines, right? So you can have one segment for the main program. Means main program is stored within this particular, say for example, 100 to 200 memory location. This is the segment length. 100 to 200 is nothing but the segment length. Then square root is one function that it is stored, for example, 50 to 60 memory location. For example, 50 MB to 60 MB memory location. Then symbol table, then stack used in that particular main program, and some subroutines. They are stored at, say for example, 500 to 600 or any memory location they can be stored. So meaning is that segmentation is nothing but the memory management technique where we can have the memory is divided into the number of segments, and these segments are as per the size of that particular program or the process. Say for example, if the main program or the main process demands 500 MB of memory, if the 500 MB is one segmentation, is one segment of the memory is created, then this is the 300 MB of segment. Next segment is created for 300 MB. So memory is now segmented, right? Getting my point out. So memory it is segmented in that particular segmentation strategy. So logical address space is a collection of segments. So again, the logical address space, it is given to the number of segment, and each segment has its name and length. Like in paging, we have P and D. That is nothing but the page number and offset D. So here also you have the segment name and the length of that particular segment. That is nothing but the displacement. The user therefore specifies each address by two quantities, that is segment name and the offset. So in paging, user specifies only a single address which you was partitioned by the hardware into the page number and offset. Here we have the name and offset. So instead of page number and offset, like in paging, you have the segment name and the offset means what is the length of that particular segment. It is all are invisible to the programmer in case of paging. So here, see here, logical address consists of two parts, that is nothing but the segment number and the offset number. In case of segmentation, the logical address consists of two parts, that is nothing but the segment number and the offset, right? So from this figure, it is clear to you the logical address. See here, logical address generated by the CPU, they are divided into the number of segment number and the D, S and D instead of P and. So here is no P and D, but there is S and D. That is nothing but your segment number and the displacement, and the segment table is maintained here. Just similar to your page table, the segment table is maintained, which contains your segment number and its corresponding limit. That is nothing but your limit number. Limit is nothing but the how much is the size of that particular segment, and the base is nothing but what from where that particular segment has started. Base is, say for example, if it is started from 500 MB location, and what is the limit address? Say for example, it is limited to 100 MB. So 500 to 600, this is nothing but one segment. This particular is nothing but the one segment. And by using this segment table, we are finding out the physical address, actual physical address for that particular segment or for that particular program or the process, and the program is loaded inside the physical memory with the help of this segmentation technique. So logical address consists of segment S number and the offset D. So segment number S used as index into the segment table, and D is nothing but must be between 0 and limit. So what exactly is the maximum size required for that particular segment? For example, consider the situation as shown in the below. So example is given here. Segment number from 0 to 4 are mentioned here. Segment number 0 to 4. See here, segment number 0, segment number 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the 4 segment numbers are given. So segments stored in physical memory as shown in the figure. Segment table has a separate entry for each segment giving beginning address of each segment, and in the physical memory, that is nothing but the base address, beginning address or the base address, and the length of that particular segment, that is called as the limit. Length of the segment is nothing but the limit, and the base address means from where that particular segment is started in the main memory. So for example, segment number 1, if we find if it, the segment number 1 is square root function, segment number 0 is nothing but your subroot function, segment number 2 is nothing but your main program, segment number 3 is stack, segment number say for 4 is nothing but a symbol table, right? So segment number 2 is 400 byte long, segment number 2 is nothing but your this main program is 400 byte long and begins at the location 4300. So 4300 is here. So this is the 4300 and it is length is nothing but 400, means 4300 plus 400, that is nothing but 4700, and here is your segment number 2. Here is now your segment number 2. So see carefully, memory, it is now gets segmented. It is not, there are no frame. No frames are maintained just like your frame paging, but these are nothing but the segment. We can call it as a segment. The segment size, these are the segments are created depending upon the size of that particular each and every segment with their starting address and with their limit size. Segment number 0, segment number 0 starts at 1400 location and size is 1000. So 1400 plus 1000, that is 2400. So this is nothing but this is your segment number 0. In main memory, it starts from 1400 and ends at 2400, and that is called as the segment number 0. Segment number 1, the starts at 6300 and the size is 400. So 6300 plus 400 means 6700. This is nothing but your segment number 1. This is segment number 0, segment number 1. So same way you have segment number 2, segment number 3 is here, right? And segment number 4. So this is nothing but your segment number 4 starts at 4700 and size is 1000. So 5700. This is the entire the segment. So this is segment number 1, segment number 2, segment number 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the way how the memory is segmented, but not the fragmented or not the they are not divided into number of frames. Getting this point? So what is the difference between the segmentation and paging? We can say that in case of paging, this logical address is divided into the pages, but whereas here you are dividing into the number of segments, and main memory you are divided into the number of frames, but here the memory is divided into number of segments. Remember this point. So the mapping onto the location, that is the same example. Example is explained here. This is the way. So the simple technique, but we have to maintain the segment table. The segment table consists of your segment number, its limit, and the base address. Getting this point? So this is the way. So if the question is asked, what exactly is the difference between the segmentation and the paging? So we can have the program is divided or the process is divided into the variable size segments in case of segmentation, because size is not fixed. So if we have seen segment number 0 has some different size, segment number 2 has the different size, segment number 1 has different size. But in case of paging, program is divided to the fixed size of pages. Getting this point or not? So very first difference is that the program or the process is divided into the number of fixed size of pages. The page size is 4 bytes, for example, fixed. The page size is equal to 4 byte. It is fixed. So each page consists of 4 logical addresses. Each page consists of 4 logical addresses. Size is fixed. But in case of segmentation, the size of segment is variable in size. No segment they are having equal size, right? And the size, we can assume that they are having as much they are having the size required as by their function. For example, if it is the main function, it is some different size. If it is a square root function, it has some small size. If it is subroutine, it has some size required by that particular subroutine. So variable sizes segments are available. User or the compiler is responsible for dividing the program into the segments. So here user is responsible or the compiler is responsible for the segmentation, but whereas the division into the pages is performed by the operating system. So this particular task, paging task, is done by your operating system. The segmentation is slower than the paging, whereas the paging is faster as compared to the segmentation. So it is visible to the user. Yes, segmentation you can view, means you can divide the main program. Suppose a very big program you have written, so you can divide that particular program into different subroutine, different function. You separate out the function, you separate out the subroutine, you separate out the main program, and you can feel that yes, a main program consists of 100 lines, subroutine consists of 500 lines. and square root function consists of 200 lines. So the depending upon the number of lines, depending upon the variables, the sizes may be different. But in case of paging, it is totally invisible to user. User has no one can say control over the paging scheme. It eliminates the internal fragmentation. Yes, of course, there is no internal fragmentation because the segment requires 400K of memory. So 400 is totally utilized by that particular segment, right? But in case of paging, the internal fragmentation may be there because there are fixed size of pages, and it may happen that if the page is of size 4 KB, but it may use 2 KB or 3 KB, so rest of 1 KB will be the internal fragmentation to that particular page. The segmentation suffers from external fragmentation. Of course, there may be the possibility that it may suffer from the external fragmentation, because what you are doing here, you are ultimately fragmenting the memory into the number of segments. So in memory, if we see the previous architecture, the memory is fragmented. The memory is fragmented into number of segments, and rest of this particular part, this is the one whole is created, just like your multiple partition allocation. This is another whole is created. This another whole is created inside the main memory. So it leaves the multiple holes inside the main memory, right? So it may suffer from the external fragmentation. But in case of paging, there is no question about the external fragmentation. The segmentation, the processor uses segment number offset to calculate absolute address. So absolute address means actual physical address, and the processor uses page number and offset to calculate the absolute address or the actual physical address. The operating system maintains the list of free holes in the main memory. So of course you are creating the holes, you are segmenting the memory. Definitely the holes are being created here. So the memory is partitioned into the segments, and the free memory it is referred as a whole in the segmentation. But in this case, the operating system has to maintain the free frame. Here we are not call the free memory as a whole, but we are calling it as a free frame. So we are calling it as a free frame. Here we are calling it as a free memory as a free holes. Getting this point? So these are the, one can say that the two main one can say important points or the important memory management technique, that is nothing but the paging as well as the segmentation. So just we'll revise it. So the paging and segmentation, the two important point we have discussed, right? And the difference we have discussed in the paging as well as in segmentation, right? Just wait 1 minute. Actually, power cutoff was there. That's why PPTs are not visible. Now the power arrive. It'll take 1 minute to start the machine. So in paging, page table, the logical address is divided into the number of pages, whereas the physical address into divided into number of frames. And with the help of this page table, we are able to find out uh, the frame for the corresponding page. And the logical address one can map with the help of this page table into the actual physical address, or it is also called as the absolute address. And this every logical address is found by the paging hardware. So you can refer it as a paging hardware, with the help of which we can able to map the logical address or the virtual address into the actual physical address of that particular actual physical address. Then next point is nothing but we have seen is nothing but the translation look aside buffer. So see here the process you have to mention if there is a question is asked in the examination. You write a note on translation look aside buffer. So you have to mark the step first. You have to write it point wise, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6. So first it will look inside this TLB. If that particular value is not found in the TLB, or if it is found in the TLB, then directly you can go to into the corresponding main memory location. But if it is not found in that particular DLB, then you have to definitely go to the actual page table, get it reference from here, and again search in the TLB. So this is called as the TLB hit, and this particular mechanism is called as the TLB miss. Missing means that particular value is missing inside that particular translation look aside buffer. It is not available there. The next point is nothing but the protection bit. If the page is belonging to the logical address space, it is called as the valid page. If it is not in the logical address space, it is called as the invalid page. And the next point, that is nothing but the segmentation. So memory is segmented. So we have seen that the memory is segmented into the number of segments, and we can say that the base is used here and the limit value is used here for each segment. So each segment is having its corresponding base and limit value, and the memory, the segmentation is performed here. But we can have the external fragmentation with the help of this segmentation. If we go for the segmentation scheme, so definitely there will be the external fragmentation of the memory, but of course we are avoiding the internal fragmentation of the memory. And segmentation, we have the and each segment, important point is that their size is different. Segment number 0 has size 1000, segment number 1 size is 400, segment number 2 size is 400, segment 3 size is 1100, and segment number 4 size is 1000. So these are the different sizes of the different segment. But whereas in case of your paging, each page is having equal size in that particular paging scheme. But segmentation, different sizes are there. And we have also seen the difference between the segmentation scheme and the paging scheme, right? So here we have completed this particular topic, that is nothing but the paging and segmentation, the concept of paging and the page table, translation look aside buffer, and the segmentation concept, and the course outcome to understand the various memory management that is going on. The important questions asked on this particular topic are: explain the concept of paging in detail. So you have to draw the diagram first, and you have to explain the concept in detail. Then how actually the logical addresses or the virtual addresses are mapped to the physical address, that also we have to mention here. Then how the translation look aside buffer works, that is how the TLB works. The note with the help of that diagram you have to mention. And if there is a question on the segmentation, you have to elaborate the concept of the segmentation. It's a very simple one. Differentiate between the paging and segmentation. Already we have discussed the differences. So books, always I recommend to go for the reference book. Don't go for the any local author book, or even you can have the NPTEL videos available. Just refer it. They are very simple. Okay, so for today's lecture, we will stop here.